Hey, everybody, I'm back again to talk to you more about spiritual things. All right, last time I was on here, I was talking about having dominion, how you dominate everything. Okay, now this time, uh, I'm going to talk to you all about basically the rest of God. Okay, because we have to, it comes a time we have to enter into God's rest. You know, because Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, and you will find rest and peace in your souls." He said, "For I am meek and lowly of heart, and you'll find rest and peace in your souls." So anyway, so I want to talk to you about the rest of God. Because see, when God created the heavens and the earth, you know, he spent 6 days working on it. And on the seventh day, he rested. Now, a lot of people, they call the seventh day the Sabbath day. And so they say, well, the Sabbath day is a day of rest. And so a lot of people will rest on the Sabbath day. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay. So the thing, you know, some people, they look at it as like a religious day, for example. And you know, like some people will say that's the day that you're supposed to go to church or spend time with God. And you know, they be like, you know, some of them be like, well, we go to church on Saturdays. Others be like, no, we go on Sundays. You know, so it's like, well, Sunday's our Sabbath and Saturday's their Sabbath. And then of course there's other people who jump in and say, well, you go to church on Sunday, that means you worship the sun god. You know, and then there's people on the other side that say, well, you go to church on Saturday, that means you worshiping Saturn. You know, which doesn't mean either one of those. It just means they go to church on that particular day. Okay, so basically, let's get into it. We got a day that God rested after He created the heavens and the earth. You know, He went through He created man basically at the end of the 6th day, and then on the 7th day, he was done and complete, finished all his work, and so he rested on the 7th day. Now everybody takes that, the ones, especially the ones who call it the Sabbath day, they take it and they say, well, we're gonna rest on the Sabbath day, which is the 7th day, which is a Saturday now. Just in case anybody's got it confused on which day is the Sabbath. Saturday is the Sabbath day. Okay, so I want y'all to know that that's the day. Sabbath. The Sabbath day is on a Saturday. Okay, and it's been established like that in the scriptures. So anyway, you got they want to rest on the Sabbath day basically. So, and I know other people rest on Sundays. You know, that's cool too. But it's all about taking your time out to relax and spend time with God. It's basically what it's really about. And so this is actually supposed to happen every day. Okay, you're supposed to spend time with God every day, not just on Saturday, not just on Sunday. Every day you should spend some time with God. Okay, you should take some time out. You should relax and spend some time with God. Okay, not saying that every day is the Sabbath day. There are some scriptures that talk about the first day of the week being the Sabbath. There's some scripture that talk about the 7th day of the week being the Sabbath. But when it comes down to it, in this day and time, you got to look at how the scriptures talk about the Sabbath being one of the things that's a shadow of things to come. Okay, so it was all pointing toward the Christ coming, toward Jesus, you know, showing up on the earth is what it was really all about. It wasn't really about which day you rested on. You know, it was about Jesus coming and bringing you rest. Like I said in the beginning, you know, Jesus said, "Come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take your yoke upon me and learn of me." You know what I'm saying? "And you will find rest and peace in your souls." In other words, this is where the rest comes from. Okay, Jesus is where your rest comes from. If you want some rest, you have to come to Jesus. There's a lot of people who, boy, they just need some peace and quiet sometimes. But you have to come to Jesus to get the rest that you're really looking for. Okay, Now, there's some benefits in this rest that we speak of. Now, like a lot of people, they say, you know, the scripture says, for 6 days you're going to work, and then on the 7th day you're going to rest. Okay, so that's what a lot of people do. They work for 6 days and they rest. But a lot of people only work for 5 days and they try to rest 2 days. You know, which is fine too. But it says 6 days you should work, but then on the 7th day you'll rest. You know, because God made the Sabbath, you know, for man, and He didn't make man for the Sabbath. He made Sabbath for man. So that's why they had a problem with Jesus, because He was doing some work on the Sabbath day, and they was like, "Nah, you can't be doing that. You breaking the law." You know, so they actually had a problem with Him when it came down to that. But He was basically letting them know, "Hey, I didn't make the Sabbath day for man. I didn't make man for the Sabbath day. I made the Sabbath day for man, so he can rest." Okay, so it's all about us getting the rest that we need. When we come to Jesus, we can actually get that rest. Now, like I said, there's still a lot of people who go and they rest on Saturday or on Sunday. They still do that. You know what I'm saying? And they believe they're keeping the law when they do that. But when you really pay attention to it, it's not just every Saturday or Sunday, as some people would put it. It's not just every Saturday. I'm saying Saturday because the Bible talks about Saturday more than it does Sunday. It's not talks about the 7th day more than it does the first day. I'll say it like it. I'm saying Saturday. So anyway, it's not just every Saturday, but every 7 years, there's a yearly Sabbath. Okay? So they tell you, you know, you can't eat on the Sabbath. You know, you can't work on the Sabbath or whatever. And then 7 years, there's a yearly Sabbath. You don't see the people in today's time trying to keep that yearly Sabbath. They do the 7 days and say, well, we're keeping the Sabbath. But when that yearly Sabbath comes, you don't see them take off work for a year. You don't see them stop, you know, whatever they be doing, kind of work for a whole year so they can just rest. You know what I'm saying? You're actually supposed to let your land rest for a year in that 7th year. You're not even supposed to grow anything. You're not supposed to sow no seed, none of that. But anyway, so there's a lot of benefits to this though. And then every 7 years there's a Sabbath. But then when you get 7 times 7, that's 49 years. Then you get it's a Sabbath year. But then that 50th year becomes the Jubilee. Okay, so when you hear the number 50 in the scriptures, it's either talking about Jubilee or it's talking about the Pentecost. Okay, and that's when the Holy Ghost came, the day of Pentecost. Okay, but anyway, that's still God, you know, giving you rest. Okay, but anyway, you it comes down to it. You have to be able to do this rest. How are you going to get this rest? Okay, because if you remember when Moses took the people through the wilderness, you know, God rained manna down every day, and the people were able to come to get the manna. They was like, what is this? You know, it turned out to be manna, it was bread basically, and they would grind it up and, you know, make their bread with it. Okay, so but then on the 6th day, God would rain down a double portion so that they wouldn't come out on the 7th day to try to gather. Okay, everything was they would have enough on the 6th day. Now the 1st through the 5th day, they couldn't keep it overnight because it was spoiled and rot. Okay, but on the 6th day, they were supposed to gather up twice as much so that they can keep some of it over to the 7th day, the 7th day. Okay, and this is the way you have the Sabbath, the 7th day. This is how you have the Sabbath. The only way you can have the Sabbath is if God provides you the double portion on the 6th day. Okay, so when you get to the 6th day, you have that double portion which takes you through the Sabbath. The same thing with the Sabbath year. God blesses you on that 6th year with enough to last you through the 7th year. Okay, then you can go back to sowing on the 8th year and what have you. And even like when it comes down to the Jubilee, God blesses you on that 48th year so that you can go through that 49th and that 50th year, and actually part of the 51st year to the crops grow on the 51st year. So basically almost 2 to 3 years, basically 2 to 3 years worth of crop, you know, to hold you over basically, because you're supposed to rest during that 49th and 50th year. And so it comes with that double portion. Okay, God has to give you that double portion. That's why you have to come to Jesus to get your rest. Some people think I need to work 2 jobs. Some people think I need to work 3 jobs. My spouse needs to work a job. My children need to work. I need to get all it, just to make enough money, just to make ends meet. And they struggle. This is because a lot of people are not using God's system. Okay, God has a system that He set up so it would help take care of you. Okay, now to start off in this, I'm gonna let you all know something. If you do not own some land, I'm talking to poor people right now. If you don't own any land, as I would say, I don't own a blade of grass in this world. If you don't own a blade of grass in this world, you don't own no land nowhere, okay? Start getting your money together to buy you some land, okay? Start getting it together. Well, I can't hardly say no money. Learn money management, okay? Put some money back because you're going to need some land in order to do God's system. Part of God's system, now, let's talk about the food, as a matter of fact. God's system is, if you notice how He blessed Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all, they all had cattle, sheep, and even Joseph had out, and Joseph made the Pharaoh rich doing this. But anyway, so, they had the land. God gave them land. That's the first thing He gave them was real estate, land. You know what I'm saying? And then He gave them animals and to put on the land. Now, I don't know how it is in all the other countries in the world, but in America, if you have some land and you put some cattle on the land, you get a tax break because of that. Because you have land and because you got cattle on the land, you get a tax break. Okay, so that's helping you out. Not to mention, now check this out, how dumb the system is. That's not the way God does it. Okay, let's say you like fruit. We'll say an apple, for example. So say you like apples, and you make sure you eat an apple a day because you think an apple a day will keep the doctors away. It's something that you learned growing up. An apple a day will keep the doctor away. All right. So you go out and you buy an apple every day for lunch on your job or wherever. You eat an apple every day. Okay. The system that they got set up is for you to go to the store, get you an apple. Some of y'all going to Whole Foods, and some of y'all just going to the regular grocery store, and some of y'all going to mom and pop stores, whatever. Some of y'all go to the farmer's market or whatever to get your apple. We'll say the apple, okay? You get your apple. You eat it. You throw away the core, and you repeat the process the next day. Now, where's all this money coming from? Well, you're working a job or 2 or 3 to come up with money to do what you do. Okay, and part of that money is going to buy this apple, for example. Now, that's not God's system. God's system is you can buy the apple one time, wherever you're buying it from. I don't know, farmer's market or somewhere. Hopefully you're getting something fresh. Get your apple one time. When you eat it, get the seeds out of that apple. Plant them in your backyard. That's why it's important for you to have some land. Plant it in some land, okay? Preferably land that belongs to you, okay? If you don't have land that belongs to you, maybe your parents or your, some kin folks or whatever let you have a little spot, a little plot in their backyard or whatever where you can plant a tree, okay? Plant your seeds, okay? You plant it, you work that seed, and you grow it, okay? You grow this apple tree, basically. Now, you bought an apple one time, and this apple tree done grew, and it does take a while for it to grow, y'all. So I ain't saying the next day you're going to have an apple tree. But after the apple tree grows, it produces apples, okay? Now you got enough apples to get you an apple every time you need one, okay? Now, as the years go on, this apple tree is going to continue to produce apples every year. So not only will it feed you, it will feed your family, it will feed your spouse, your children. And when you and your spouse and your children are gone, it will feed your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, and every generation after you. That tree will continue to produce fruit for each one of the generations. Okay? So what God is saying is, hey, I'll let you buy it one time, aka this is an investment. You invest in it once in order to get the seeds. Once you get the seeds, you work those bad boys, and you plant them, grow them and everything, and you reap the harvest for generations. Okay, that's a generational blessing. Okay, I know a lot of people talk about generational curses. I'm talking about generational blessings today. Okay, so you get generational blessings. That's just one fruit. You can do vegetables. Y'all know what you can plant in the ground. Plant what you like. Plant some stuff that you don't like, and take the stuff you don't like and sell it to the people who like it, or trade it with people who like it for something you do like. Anyway, that's free food. That keeps you from having to go to the grocery store to buy this stuff every week, every few days, whatever it is how often you go to the grocery store. It's saving you a lot of money because you were smart enough to plant it in your yard. Okay. Now, like I said, you put some animals on your land. Let's say you got enough land where you can put animals on it. Okay. Now you got, say for example, you got some cows, for example. All right. The cows are going to eat the grass. That's going to save you a lot of time. You ain't got to go out here and mow this grass. The cow's going to eat it. Okay. They're going to produce milk and butter. Okay, now you got milk and butter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you don't want to milk the cow, just hire somebody or something. You know, you don't have to milk it. Shoot, you know, whatever it is, whatever. But you got milk and butter now. Of course, you got to churn the butter and everything. But now you got milk and butter. You got more supply for free. Okay, God is giving you stuff for free. When the cow gets old, you know, you don't want it to die on its own. You got to put him down. Hopefully he or she, hopefully they produced offsprings before they get old, okay? They produce some offsprings, you're good to go. You got more cattle. And that's another thing. That's more, and when you put it down, I'm talking about killing it. When you put it down, you basically get to reap the harvest of the meat that comes from it. It fills up your freezer for the winter. You know what I'm saying? You got your freezer full. You know what I'm saying? You got steaks and hamburgers and what have you. Know what I'm talking about. And ribs and stuff. So anyway, you got all that, meat. So yeah, you get to eat real good in the neighborhood for the winter or what have you. You know, and now you start off with 1 or 2 cows. Now you got multiple ones. By the time these get old, now you got multiple cows on your land. Okay? And they're reproducing. You know, if it start reproducing a little too quick, either buy more land or sell some of them, just so you can keep up. Okay, so you don't have to be buying grass to feed them because you ain't got enough, you know what I'm saying? Some people do buy grass because they see the cows as more of an asset. But anyway, that's free food, y'all. It saves you from going to the store to buy meats. Free food. All right, so you got the animals. Then the skins on it. You took the skins off, you sell it to the shoemaker. That's that leather. That's where people get leather from. Old cowhide, old skins. Okay, so you sell it to the Nike maker or whoever, somebody who's making some shoes. Sell it to them. And then they can use it to make the shoes and everything. They pay you for it. You use that money to, put gas in your Columbine or in your tractor or something to help, harvest your crop or what have you. You know what I'm saying? And so, or buy whatever it is you need to buy, pay your electric bill or what have you. Hopefully, you're smart enough to build a windmill. Let's say you get your house somewhere close to a river. Cause the river to flow towards your house a little bit. Take a little stream off, cause it to flow towards your house. Have your water purification system. Build your water purification system so that you can have clean water, okay? That way you don't have no water bill. God system, okay? Same thing, build a windmill in your backyard somewhere. Create electricity. That way you don't have no electric bill. No electric bill, no water bill. Hopefully your house is paid in full. If it ain't, pay it off as soon as you can. Get that bad boy paid off. It's paid in full. There's no house bill, no water bill, no electric bill. Your house is all electric, hopefully. And you got water, clean water, fresh water to drink and to bathe in and, for sewage and what have you. God's system. Everything is free. Now, understand this. When God's system is set up, everything is free. This is why God talks about entering into his rest. When you come to Jesus, Jesus will cause you to do things his way, and you'll come into a rest. Once you pay that house off, you can rest because you ain't got to make payments on it no more, okay? Once those electric bills is taken care of, as far as the windmill or the water bill, because of the water, you get all that system set up, you can relax. See what I'm saying? You're moving into the rest. Once you got the cows on your land, it's tax breaks and what have you, you can rest. Once you grow the fruit trees and the vegetables and what have you, you can rest. It's free food, free water, free meat, free whatever. Utilities, free house. Everything is free now. God is setting you free from the worldly system. And that's what God does. He said, come unto me, all ye who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, and you will find rest and peace in your souls, because I'm meek and lowly in heart. So anyway, this is one of the reasons we need Jesus, because he's got a system. Not saying you can't use the system, but I'm just saying he got a system. He got a way of doing things that causes you to be free. Once you get into dominance, what I call having dominion. Once you get to that kingdom life where you have dominion, then you can rest. You enter into God's rest. Sit back. Why? Because I got my kingdom set up. Okay, your kingdom is whatever you own, the king's domain. The king owns a certain particular thing. That's why I said if you don't have no land, you don't own no grass, you need ownership. You need to start getting hold of some ownership. Okay, let's say you got a car. If it's not paid off, you can say it's your car all you want to, but miss a payment and watch what happens. The real owners are going to show up and take your car. Okay, so, but if you got a car that's paid off, you can relax. Why? That's part of your kingdom now. You own it. You're responsible for it. All you got to do is pay for the insurance, upkeep, or what have you on it like that. But you don't have to make any car payments because the car is yours. That's what I'm talking about when I talk about the kingdom life. And when you get into the rest of God, God's got a system that will allow you to rest. And you won't be going to work all the time every day anymore. You won't have to, because God's system sets it up to where you can relax, y'all. You can relax and be like, whew, finally. And yeah, some people be like, yeah, but you don't understand, farm work is hard work. Okay, well, just pay somebody else to do it then. Okay, pay somebody else to do it. If you don't want to do it, pay somebody else to do it. It's still free food every year. It's still free housing, free whatever. Pay somebody else to build your little water purification system. Pay somebody else to do your windmill. Pay somebody else to milk your cow. Pay somebody else to plant your garden. Pay somebody else to take care of your garden. It's still free food, free water, clean water, free electricity. You know what I'm saying. You still get to have all that. Okay? And you ain't got to go out there in the hot sun mowing no grass trying to take care of your land, because you got cows out there to take care of that for you. All right. It's getting late already in this video. I'm going to jump off here and I'll come back to you again on another video to talk to you more about spiritual things. All right. As I always say, life is so much fun, then you get to go to heaven. Y'all better come and hear the truth, y'all. All right. God bless. Love you all. Bye.